Good morning. I have just been for a walk with Elvis. As you can see, I'm like still rosy cheeks and a wee bit sweaty. Um, but something happened while I was on my walk with Elvis and it got me thinking, and so I wanted to come and share it with you. So while we were walking along the street, Elvis clocked a cat. Elvis doesn't like cats. So he immediately starts heading towards this cat and dragging me with him in the process. So the lead gets really tight and I'm getting tugged along with him. So what I'm trying to teach him is that that's not a good thing. One, it's not good for the cat. And two, it's not good for him when he pulls. And three, it's not good for me because I could go flying and land face first. So I'm trying to teach him not to do this. And so when he does that kind of thing, I put the anchors on and I just hold firm. And I stay in one spot until he gives me his attention, until he makes eye contact with me. When he does that, I reward him by saying good boy and then we move on. But this is what it got me thinking about when I watched him do that this morning. He was so utterly distracted by that cat, so zoned in on that cat that nothing else mattered. I didn't matter at all. And I was thinking about this as a kind of picture of what our lives are like sometimes. The things that we get distracted by in life. And I was thinking things like career, trying to, work our way up the ladder, trying to get a better job role for better job satisfaction or a wage at the end of the month. I was thinking about relationships and how when we like somebody or we fall for somebody, our minds just head towards them and we think about them all the time. And then we sometimes can make them more important than our friends or our family. I think I was thinking also about things that we want, not necessarily things that we need, but things that we might want, like new trainers or the latest like games console or a holiday or a car, things that we end up pouring our time and attention into. We get distracted by these things and end up focusing on them. But sometimes what happens when we focus on those things is that we forget about our purpose. We forget about the journey that we're on. We forget, especially sometimes if we are in a relationship with God, we forget about Him. And so when I was standing there, stood still, waiting for Elvis's attention, it made me think of what God must feel like sometimes with us when He has a plan and a purpose for our lives and we go off on a tangent because we are distracted by something in this life, and how God is patient with us and how He waits for us to give Him our attention. And there was a particular verse that I thought of when I was kind of picturing this, and it is in Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3, and I'm just going to read it to you. I'm reading from the NLT. It says, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. And it was that sense that actually when our thoughts, when our mind, when we are fixed on God, we are kept in perfect peace. And that's what our life is supposed to be about. Elvis was so distressed and so distracted. He was wound up and hyped up, and it took him ages to settle down after that moment, all because he saw a cat. So for you today, what are you distracted by? Do you need to turn your attention back to your maker.